Niumatalolo. Navy is 2-3 overall, 1-1 in the American Athletic Conference. The midshipmen played at Air Force last week. Air Force won the game 35-7. Navy's back at home this week to face Temple at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Annapolis. The game will be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern and televised on CBS Sports Network. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you would take a minute to tie up the game at Air Force, please, and we expect to see you get back into conference play Saturday against Temple.
Well, see, it's for us in our program, it's a devastating loss to lose the Air Force. We got our butts whipped, both coaching and playing, and so it's a tough pill to swallow, especially that's, obviously one of our rivalry games. And unfortunately we come, now get back into league play against a very good Temple team that's playing well right now, and, very talented team, very physical, have always given us trouble. They played a really tough schedule, and, everybody they played with, they're in their games, and, I watched them live in Boston College a couple weeks ago, when we weren't preparing for them and had every opportunity to beat them, but, just saw how good and talented that they are. Coach Collins is a good football coach, and so we'll have our work cut out for us. We're struggling right now, and, at home, and, we'll need all the extra advantage that we can get because we're a team right now searching for some answers, and, it's going to be a tough one this week.
We'll take questions for Coach Niumatalolo. Please hit *1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue, and then the operator will introduce you.
I'll take our first question from Mark Naducci with Philadelphia Inquirer.
Hey, Coach, looking at that Temple offense, what is it that you see that maybe impresses you the most about it?
I'm sorry, I'm chuckling because unfortunately there's too much that impresses me. I don't know where we're going to stop. Who do you try to stop? Where do you try to put your fingers at? They're big, physical, always can run the football, and good running back. It's not the thing you want to, after a big loss, put in on their video and watching them play. It's scary. They're a scary offense.
Coach, they've had a new quarterback for the last 4 games. Is there anything about him that stood out to you?
Well, I just think making decisions, and like I said, I didn't like watching their last game. Obviously they played really well. They're operating really well right now. It's going to be a tough game for us. Like I said, it's a tough tape to watch, to get ready for, because you just get your butt handed to you. And I know how good they are, even without having watched the tape prior to getting ready for them this week. But then you throw on the tape and you're like, it's going to be. We're going to have our hands full. We're going to have our hands full with them.
Thank you.
I'll take our next question from Bill Wagner with Baltimore Sun Media Group.
Morning, Ken. Obviously, part of the situation with being in a conference is that after a big emotional service academy game, you've got to come right back and play another very good opponent, and that is just the beginning of many. How do you get the kids to just put that behind, as tough it is? You mentioned after the game the other day that the kids were hurting, but you got to move on quick.
No doubt. We have to find a way to move on quickly. That's easier said than done, but we're going to try our best. And really, we just got beat by a team thoroughly, and probably Temple's probably better than Air Force. And so, like I said, we just got beat by a team pretty handily, and then we got a team coming up that, athletically and physically and stuff, they're going to be bigger and stronger than the Air Force team, and, we saw what happened against them. So, just reality, we got to get going. We got to just go back to work. You just move on. It's how it is every week, whether you win or lose. That doesn't change. You always got to find a way to move on to the next game, and that's always your goal. So we'll just see what happens. It's going to be easier said than done, like you said, Wags. But we have to, because if you thought the last game was bad, if we don't move on, this one could be worse. That's how talented these guys are.
Right. And you mentioned that, obviously in the wake of the loss, you said you were concerned. Do you feel like this is a time when the staff has to have a summit and really just kind of get things, because this is a crucial moment where you've got to get this season going in the right direction?
I think every week is a summit, Wags. That's what you do.
Okay.
I don't know. That's. I don't know any other way to coach. I don't know. It's like, okay, this week is some. You always press forward and you put everything into it. I don't understand the question from the standpoint of, it's not like you ever coach at 88% or 92%. You give everything you have. Every week you do, it's a summit. There's not any, there's no vacation weeks or anything. There's never a week. Every week you got to, coach summit. To your term or summit. It's always got to be like that.
Yeah, I guess I meant more. I should have said it better. Is just maybe you've got to look at changing some things in order to get things turned around. That maybe instead of just the same old, maybe this is a point in the season where you've got to address whatever issues you have, both sides of the ball, and figure out what do we got to do.
No, but that's my point. You do that every week. It's not. That's
right.
What you. Every week you look at how do you get better. You make changes. It's not like you never do that. Even when you win, it's not like, okay, we're good here. We just. That's what you do week by week, and so. No, you just keep doing. You're always trying to improve. You're always looking at how can you get better. That's what you do every week. I guess it's hard for me. I don't really understand the question because that's. The urgency every week never changes. Everything we do, we're at the Naval Academy. There's no margin of error. You got to coach with your hair on fire. There's always a high sense of urgency. You have to look at everything. You have to scrutinize everything week in and week out, and you got to move on. Sometimes you can do it, I guess, Wags, and sometimes you can't. But those are always the goals. Those are always the goals to, coach like you're going to the summit. Nothing can be the same old same. If your things aren't going well, you have to try to change it. You have to look at personnel. You have to look at schemes. You have to look at how you're coaching. But there's really no magic wand in this stuff. It's not like you can. We just got to hopefully, go back to work, and just, hopefully give our guys a chance and hopefully play hard and see what happens.
Thank you, Coach.
Bye, Wags.
We'll take our next question from Tom Shanahan with Rally News and Observer.
Hi, Coach. There was an interesting story in Sports Illustrated about the option offense and its future, and I kind of wanted to follow up on it because it's been so vital to the academies being competitive. Is that something, the new Cup Black rules, is that something you've had to adjust to already, have to think about more in the future? And the story made it sound like the option offenses are doomed. Is it that dire?
No, I don't think so. We haven't had to change. It's the same old. We didn't play well this past week, but we're going against two option teams, so Air Force did well, but I don't know, Coach Johnson, I watched them on TV, and they had almost 700 yards, in their win. I don't know. The teams that are running it are, been successful. So I don't know. I don't really look at that, nor do I, have paid much attention to that. We're just trying to get better ourselves. The cup block rule, people may always make a big deal about it. But you look at every offense, everybody cuts. I think, a lot of other people have had to adjust how they, slide protect or zone block and cutting the edge man on line of scrimmage. You can't cut from inside out, but I don't think it's really affected, option football much at all.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
All right.
And we'll take one final question for Coach Niumatalolo, please.
We'll take our last question from Leo Haggerty with ITS Sports Magazine.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Coach, in your opinion, what's the hardest to do for the following week? Get a team focused after a big win or a big loss?
That's a great question. I mean, probably a big win, just because everybody's telling people how hard it is, how good you are. But I say that, but we just came off a big loss, so I know it's going to be hard for us to get going again, too, to move on and press forward. They're both difficult, but I don't know. I mean, and I don't even know if this is right or not, but maybe after a big win.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
All right, thank you.
Coach, thanks as always for your time today. We look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday.